Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Τα προγράμματά μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule.
For the first time ever, the European Parliament recognized the impact of our current food system on climate change, on biodiversity, on the spreading of zoonotic diseases like COVID, and this was a huge breakthrough. Especially the call from the Parliament to move away from factory farming.
The Party for the Animals, Forging a Political Food Revolution, Part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
As a vegan, I believe that it's not necessary for us to eat meat anymore. As a Muslim, I believe that we should always show kindness and compassion to all creatures on earth. So my beliefs from both sides are compatible. Diana Rahim, vegan.
Luc, Ute und Morten, magnificent viewers. That means nice to meet you in Dutch, the official language of Suriname. I'm Jahir. The warm-hearted people of Suriname wish that all beings will quickly adopt the vegan diet to save their souls and our planet. Welcome to The Party for the Animals, Forging a Political Food Revolution, Part 1 of 2. In 2002, the Party for the Animals was formed in the Netherlands to establish a voice for the people of the animal kingdom through a dedicated political party. Rather than considering only the short-term interest of humans, the party focuses on the long-term goals of the whole planet and all of its inhabitants. It raises important issues ignored by other political parties, such as compassion, sustainability, and the respectful treatment of both humans and animal people. Since its formation, the Party for the Animals has been gaining ever-increasing support. In 2006, the party won 2 seats in the Netherlands House of Representatives, the first time in history that members of a party focusing on animal people's rights were elected to a national parliament. Today, the Party for the Animals has grown to have 80 elected representatives throughout the European Union, or EU, serving at the international, national, regional, and local levels. In addition, the party has expanded internationally with representatives in Portugal, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Australia. The Party for the Animals has been forging what they call a food revolution, calling for, among other things, the closure of all animal people factory farms and a shift to the organic plant-based lifestyle. On today's program, we'll meet 2 elected members of the Dutch Party for the Animals, the Honourable Christine Teunissen, a member of the Netherlands House of Representatives, and the Honourable Dr. Anja Hazekamp, a member of the European Parliament. In November 2021, the Honourable Christine Teunissen and the Honourable Dr. Hazekamp spoke at an event called the Food Revolution held in Glasgow, Scotland. During her speech, the Honourable Christine Teunissen explained why the Party for the Animals was founded.
Politics has been dominated for a very long time by economical interest, economical growth, and that is the fundamental wrong thinking, constantly putting economical interest, economical growth in the center of policy. And the vulnerable values like animal welfare, compassion, sustainability, they were always less important in politics. So that's why in 2002 the Party for the Animals was founded by a group of people who saw what was going wrong within politics. We saw that other values, other interests should be more in the center. Who step out of putting your own species in the center and instead put a different species in the center of policy. And that is a fundamentally different way of practicing politics. It's fundamentally different. It's from the egocentric way of thinking to the eco-centric way of thinking.
The Party for the Animals Food Revolution calls for a major reform of the current highly industrialized animal-people livestock system. The Honorable Christine Tønnesen shares some of the reasons for which this system is unsustainable.
We have lived as though we have 3 planets to use to harvest from. And more we realize that we can't eat money. That we have to revalue the things that really matter to us. The right of food, clean water, clean air, and compassion, not only for our own kind, but also for other living beings. Food production takes up half of the planet's habitable surface. Livestock farming is one of the main sources of greenhouse gas. According to the UN, livestock farming is responsible for roughly half of the emissions of the food sector. A lead reviewer of the IPCC 6th assessment report has stated that cutting methane is the biggest opportunity to slow warming.
Studies have shown that raising animal people for food is responsible for many of the problems facing our Earth, including climate change, deforestation, and the current COVID-19 pandemic. The Honorable Christine Tønnesen explains some of the benefits of switching to a vegan lifestyle.
Reducing consumption of animal products can therefore reduce zoonosis, reduce biodiversity loss, reduce the risk of climate breakdown. And of course, it's better for our own health. As one said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if we go on like business as usual, then we will be insane. And we will go to our own death in the end.
Vegan leaders, they are the future.
We'll take a moment now to share our favorite vegan recipe on Facebook to help our friends more easily switch to the planet-saving vegan lifestyle. We'll be back after this message. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program, The Party for the Animals, Forging a Political Food Revolution. In 2014, the Honorable Dr. Anja Hazekamp, representing the Party for the Animals, was elected as a member of the European Parliament, or MEP. It was the first time in history that a member of a party representing animal people was elected to an international parliament. She was then re-elected as an MEP in 2019. During her speech at the Party for the Animals Food Revolution conference, the Honorable Dr. Hazekamp explained why a change in our food system is necessary.
I'm going to talk to you about food because our food system is broken. It is a ticking time bomb. And industrial animal agriculture and intensive pesticide-using monocultures are driving high greenhouse gas emissions, are polluting our soil, they are contaminating our water, they drive biodiversity loss, and they are absolutely compromising animal welfare. And all these things combined undermine the critical ecosystems that all life on this planet is depending.
The Honorable Dr. Hasekamp says that in addition to raising animal people for food, the heavy reliance on fertilizers and pesticides is also unsustainable.
Agriculture is responsible for about 90% of ammonia emissions, and this has a significant negative effect on our environment and is a major contributor as well to the air pollution that kills 400,000 Europeans every year. Pesticides and fertilizer use continues to seriously threaten biodiversity and human health, and it has to be drastically reduced. We desperately need a food revolution to preserve and restore biodiversity, to improve animal welfare, and to limit global warming to less than 1.5 degrees.
At the European Parliament level, the Honourable Dr. Hasekamp has been pressing for this food revolution. In her role as the Vice Chair of the European Committee on the Environment, Public Health and Food Safety, she has been involved in the development of a new strategy for the EU agricultural system called Farm to Fork. She next shares some of her successes.
For the first time ever, the European Parliament recognized the impact of our current food system on climate change, on biodiversity, on the spreading of zoonotic diseases like COVID, on public health, on nature, and called for a systematic reform of our food system. And this was a huge breakthrough, especially the call from the Parliament to move away from factory farming and to reduce the number of animals kept in animal agriculture.
With growing support from the European Parliament, the Honourable Dr. Hasekamp and her team took the opportunity to include additional targets in the new Farm to Fork strategy.
It was a big opportunity for us to include more, so we took the opportunity to call for binding targets, for instance, for the use of antibiotics and synthetic fertilizers. We also took the opportunity to include binding targets to reduce the use of pesticides with 50% in 2030. With the reduction of pesticides, we safeguard public health, protect our environment, and halt the decline of crucial pollinators, such as bees. We also took the opportunity to include demands to improve animal welfare in order to reduce the worst suffering that goes on behind the closed doors of barns, trucks, ships, and slaughterhouses. We took the opportunity also to include a complete ban to keep animals, farmed animals, in cages by 2027. And that is completely in line with the calls from the European Citizens Initiative and the Cage Age.
The Farm to Fork strategy also calls for support of the organic, plant-based lifestyle, as well as honest, transparent food labeling.
We took the opportunity to call on the EU to invest in the transition towards more plant-based diets in order to prevent animal suffering, in order to fight food-related diseases, in order to save precious farmland and biodiversity, and limit the climate impact of what is on our plates. We took the opportunity to call for mandatory front-of-pack labeling that is clear and honest food labeling to enable consumers to make more informed choices about environmental impact of their food on animal welfare and their own health. We took also the opportunity to transform 25% of the European farmland to organic farmland.
What exciting news from the Honourable Dr. Hasekamp and the Honourable Christine Tønnesen and the Party for the Animals. We pray that the EU will lead the way to a global organic plant-based lifestyle. We wish you even greater success in your future noble endeavours. For more information on the Party for the Animals, please visit partyfortheanimals.com. For more information about the Farm to Fork strategy, please visit ec.europa.eu/commission/press corner/detail/en/fs_20_908.
Vegan, tested negative for many incurable diseases.
Elegant viewers, thank you for your company today. Please join us again on May 16th for part 2 of this series. Coming up next is Ukraine's residence of Bukovanian and Dalmatian metropolitans, an architectural masterpiece, right after noteworthy news. Wishing you a long and happy life and excellent health in a peaceful vegan world.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/GG.